we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Back to Taylor on 1st down. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to them.
Across midfield he goes and into Bengal territory. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. But you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Working with a 2nd and 3. And he'll give it here to his running back. Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be 3rd and about a foot or 2. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the 1st down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
Now they try the right side here. And he'll be brought down with the 1st down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. Well, you hate that defensively. They had him pretty well corralled, but the face mask, that obviously changes things.
Yeah, it's a bit frustrating because you feel like you did everything right. You had him stop, but the hand gets up just a little too high, and the natural inclination is to hold on, and that's going to get called every time.
Play action. It's Eason. Completes it to Evan Ingram. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
1st and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. They'll try to run this one in. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Colts are going to take a first quarter lead. A try here for the extra point. And this is good to make it 7-0 Indy. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Burrow and the Bengals with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Burrow going to give this to Mixon. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Burrow will throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Young. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Burrow going to get this into the hands of Mixon, his running back. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end, and they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line.
I'll give them credit for a good read right there because they read the man coverage on the right side and sent the tight end a few steps down the field and then angled him to the left on a crossing route. And he was able to get enough separation on this play to turn it into a nice gain.
Burrow bats it forward. It's a jet sweep. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the... Here we go. 11. Right, 80. On 2nd and 9. Burrow trying to get it to Chase, but it's intercepted. Picked off at the 11. Bring it! And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Colts TD. And this defense looking like they have come to play the pick six, and just like that, it's 13-0 early on.
Well, go back with me to our training camp visit. What do we hear during these drills? Pass. Ball's in the air.
And then my favorite.
Oski, that's the interception. That means everybody finds someone to block them legally, stay on your feet, and they get it done. Touchdown.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And last time, decent field position through the pick six. Obviously costly.
But they can't.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Julian Blackman. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
A beautiful fake. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field of the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. They go play action with Eason. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpires get different responsibilities, but always making sure no one's holding.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. From the gun, he'll hand this off. 7 yards on the carry, make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
They'll find Paris Campbell. That's complete. And he is going to have a Colts first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Nothing the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. It's another 10 yards on that one and another first down.
Well, as we've learned over the years, just because a guy plays left tackle doesn't mean he doesn't have run blocking abilities. And we just saw it there. Controlled the line of scrimmage, created a big gain.
That's kind of a bonus. He's there to protect that high value that you have back under center, but he creates space in the run game.
Yeah, not only can he dance, he can mash too.
That catch good for only a couple.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal.
This is intercepted. Picked off at the 15. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. The Bengals drive about to get going. To this point, the results have not been good. 2 possessions, 2 turnovers.
And that's obviously something that can't continue, but to go a little bit deeper on that one, I would think about some play calls now, not even necessarily to my best player, but to someone I can trust with the ball and try and get things settled down a little bit.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Out of the shotgun, they run with Mixon. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Out of the gun, it's Burrow. And that will be incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
Out is Rigoberto Sanchez on 4th down to punt this thing. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And here's Rodgers on the return. So holding there on the return, and that'll back him up to start the next drive.
Yeah, that's a pretty easy call right there, partner. I think when the officials look in their manual and see the expression jersey getting pulled, that's a flag coming out every time.
Eason and the Colts now with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Back to throw. Eason. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Taylor. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. Eason gets this to Campbell out on the right side. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Throwing is Eason. Looking for Campbell downfield. And incomplete on the deep ball. So, Charles, you talk about this head coach and his future with this franchise. Look, it's been a frustrating year, and I think we saw some of that frustration boil over at his weekly press conference earlier in the week.
Yeah, he's trying to say all the right things, isn't he? But he's heard the rumors. He knows what's going on out there. And right now, he is tired of having to answer the question, are you on the hot seat in every meeting with reporters? This week, he kind of said, I've had enough. And I don't blame him. He looks like a guy that may very well be out the door.
A couple of 1st downs on the drive already as they'll go from the 47 now on 1st down. Here's Eason off the play fake. And that is incomplete. The coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down. You know, if following up on this head coach and the pressure that he is under, CD, I want to switch it to you because you've been on winning teams, but I know you've been in similar situations too where things just are not going well. How do you approach that as a player?
It's a tough approach, Brandon, because you actually have to do the opposite of what you would think. You know, in your mind, you're thinking, I redouble my efforts, I go harder. In a sense, you have to back off a little bit. You have to do a little bit less. Do what you're supposed to do, but don't take on the pressures of doing more and trying to do your teammates' jobs as well. If you do that, that's really going to lead to more issues.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. From the gun is Eason. And this one complete to Will Fuller. And he's got another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 27-yard line.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick a down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 22. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
Boy, that's the kind of interception that can save a game right there. They're already down 2 scores. Huge play, slowing down what was going against them.
I was thinking the same thing. You get down 3 scores there at this stage, could be in for a long ball game. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your...
And now Burrow going to be intercepted yet again. Picked off by Kenny Moore. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. That was one I kind of saw it coming, Charles. He had a free safety just hanging back there over the middle, waiting, and he saw that ball go in the air, and he jumped on it.
And I don't know why the quarterback didn't see that. That was just your standard cover 3, which means the free safety in the middle of the field. The two
touchdown Colts! Evan Ingram, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Colts are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. So after the disappointment in the opening week loss, Charles, this looks like really a completely different football team.
They sure do, and I think they realize we can't start 0-2, and they're determined to not let it happen by the looks of things here in the early going.
Extra point by Blankenship is up and good, and it's now 21-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. The Bengals drive about to get going. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. From the gun, a give to Mixon. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go.
Big 13. Big 13. Box 22, box 22. Let's go, baby. Turn it up. Get that ball. Let's get that ball.
A reminder coming up at halftime. We'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this 2nd week of the regular. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Kenny Moore. Well, we heard all week that they were going to put the football in the air a lot. The problem is that is now 4 interceptions, Charles, that he has thrown in this first half. How do you treat a situation? What do you say to your quarterback right now?
Boy, that's an interesting question because a lot of it depends on the head coach and the people making the decisions. You have to know your quarterback and know if he's mentally tough enough to have a chance to turn it around. Or is he a guy that maybe you've seen enough and it's time to go to the backup? But right now what you're rooting for is your defense to help keep you in the game, to give him an opportunity to get back on track.
A quick throw out wide to Fuller. To the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds.
And that's a nice job of working his way open down in the red zone. Looked that one in and then made a beeline for the pylon. He didn't quite get there, and you want to give him a little extra for the effort, but instead he sets his guys up in excellent shape with a 1st and goal.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score one touchdown,
you want two.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got one, but was denied as he tried to get the second one.
Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. They'll try to run this one in. And he takes it in for a Colts score. A great play there. With his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Colts continue to pull away here in this first half. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Here's a give to Mixon. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Marked that down for a win in the defense's column.
And this will be incomplete. Boy, can you believe this? That one probably should have been picked too. Instead, it's 4th down. I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And he's not going to go anywhere as they get him down behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. So we come to halftime here with the visiting Colts taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. The Bengals with work to do in this 3rd quarter, but they'll get the football first as we are back underway. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. And they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster of a first half. So where do they go from here?
Well, first thing they have to remember is that what's done is done, and there's no going back. And now you have to play this drive by drive. Obviously, come back in this spot. Pretty unlikely, but you still have to go out, take pride in your work, and try and put something together here in the second half.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And Mixon not going to get there. Running into a wall here, and they'll stop him short. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. It's a 42-yard punt, but 8 on the return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive.
Hey, check five, check five. 18 Cardinal, 18 Cardinal. Coming. Rig alert, rig alert. You got tight. You got tight right there. Check 31, check 31.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here, 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line. He'll hand it off here. This is Mixon. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Now it's Burrow. Now they go screen. It's complete. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Man open, that's Jamar Chase complete. And he is going to have a Bengals 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
He'll be dropped shy of the 40 despite powering through the tackle. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Mixon with a 1st down carry. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. A handoff to Mixon. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
And from that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. And he's able to get this across the 10 before being taken down. 67 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Trey Hendrickson, the one who gets him on the ground. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. And now here's a carry heading left. Fourth quarter, you've got the lead. You have to stay in bounds and run that clock. Coaches, that'll drive them crazy.
Sacrifice a yard or two if you have to. Just go down, in bounds, keep that clock going. It's almost like he was caring more about his fantasy stats than it was about winning the game, and that has to drive a coach crazy.
And he is going to have a Colts first down by about a yard. It's a gain of 5 on 3rd and 4.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. They have 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there.
Well, partner, Marvin, our #1 stats guy, just handed me a little card that says he has 97 yards on the ground today. You think he's going to get the ball again?
I think so. 3 away from that century mark. Got to have it.
Yeah, and I think what they're going to call is one of his favorite runs, whatever he feels comfortable with, and what the offensive line has executed well today to try and get him over 100 yards.
Now a handoff looking right. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
We play to win. Let's go.
So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now.
Silver.
And they take a knee. A nickel look now for the Bengals as they try to stop him here on third down. And they'll indeed take a knee. So this one winds up an Indianapolis victory, and this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
Well, they absolutely pitched a shutout, so it can't get much better than that, right? The defense led the way, but the offense did their part as well. They moved the ball up and down the field, so you've got to like what you saw. What do they call that? A total team effort? I think when it's time to hand out game balls, guys from both sides will end up getting one.
So for the Colts, they did what they needed to do. They split their first two road games of the year. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Atlanta Falcons. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll be at home for one next week as the Baltimore Ravens come to town. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.